Oh, good afternoon, traders. This is Baja Pips, and today I'm going to be doing my weekly technical breakdown. So, I want to just highlight a few things today, and just getting set up for the forthcoming week. I'm going to be taking a little trip, a little mini vacation at the middle of the week. So, I want to get some stuff out the way and make sure that my funded challenge is passed and everything is moving accordingly and smooth. The current time right now is 2:03 p.m. It's Sunday, April 30th, currently in China. And yeah, Eastern China. It's beautiful right now. It's springtime and about to be summer. So weather's looking nice, and I am getting ready to start traveling again. I just want to highlight a few things. The beginning of this week, there's currently it's China Labor Day, and there's some medium impact news, crude oil for the USD. Nothing really big. And then on Monday, it's going to be a Labor Day, so it's a bank holiday for many countries. But don't worry, because the major banks are actually in the US and Europe. So if there's a European bank holiday, I'm more than likely not going to trade European pairs or pairs that involve the Euro or the Gbp. But I am still interested in trading pairs that involve the USD, as we do have some ISM manufacturing and high impact news on this day. Now, also, JPY, is it a Japanese holiday? It does not look like it neither. So USD JPY pairs with JPY. Markets overall are still moving, but there is a holiday, so just take that into account. I'm probably not going to be day trading, as I do day trade the Euro USD, and it looks like there are a few countries in the European Union, such as France, Italy, Switzerland. That's a Swiss franc, though. I don't really worry about that. So CHF. So this is just what I'm doing just to get the weekly outlook. Tuesday, we have China Labor Day again. As you can see, other countries are still moving. And then moving into Wednesday, we have China Labor Day. I believe it's the whole week. But yeah, I don't trade the Chinese yuan. So don't worry about that. So pretty much, this is just what I'm highlighting right now, just to show y'all the fundamentals coming ahead. Disregard a little bit of noise. I have some construction going on above me, but pretty sure you all can still hear me. Let's go into the MetaTrader 4 chart, and I want to just break down the pairs step by step, show y'all what I'm pretty much expecting. When we look at the Audnzd, we can see that price is actually still continuing on its downtrend that I had set out for at the beginning of the week. There's a horizontal line I drew at the resistance. I actually was writing this down on my Twitter feed just to get everything set up. And yeah, I want to get started. I'm going to do it from the right to the left, and I'm going to do this as fast as possible because I'm not taking any orders yet. I'm just highlighting what I plan on doing if the price does come to these areas. So Audnzd, let's start this one off. On the daily time frame, we see that price has been driving on down. It has been pretty strong, and it has formed a top formation. I call this a double top. You can see that price went faked out to the downside. It reversed back to the upside, hit some previous support that's now considered resistance, and it failed to break that, and now we are currently on our way down. So this is how price action is unfolding, and you can see it all unfolding right in front of you. So I like this trade because it's on the smaller time frame. You could see how it was a huge drop at the end of last week, but on this time frame we can't really see much going on. So all I really want to do is highlight the area of support right here. There was a lot of buyers, they got shaken out, and then we have a new set of buyers that are now taking this market onto the upside. I don't know how far they're going to take it, nor do I know how long this downtrend is going to last, but we are experiencing a consolidation. We're in a range. So price was going to break on out to the upside back at the beginning of February. We could see price resulted. It faked out, went back into the range, and then we had a fake out to the downside as well because price went and pump faked and went back up north. Now, this was supposed to go on, continue on up if it was a true fake out, but unfortunately, it looks like it was more of a shakeout than a fake out. They shook out these sellers right here, and price did go on up about 150 pips, and it faked out once again to the downside of the range. Now, I do expect this price to continue on going down with this bearish momentum. There's a little velocity. You can see that there was a lot of buyers that actually took price on up. It took a couple of weeks to bring that price on up. Let me just show y'all right here. It took a couple of weeks. It took about 13 days for price to go on up. And it took about half the amount of time for price to go on down. As you can see, it took 5 days for price to retrace that entire move. So that's telling me that sellers are way stronger than buyers right now, and I'm definitely interested in shorting. If I am going to short, I want to see these lows taken out of 1.06685 first. If these lows can be taken out and I can see selling pressure build up some more, I'm more than willing to take it down all the way to yearly lows. We can see that December lows was set at 1.04683, and that's approximately 200 pips away from my ideal entry. So I'm going to be watching this and monitoring it throughout the day, throughout the week, and I'm going to just follow up with y'all as this unfolds. I'm not really going to go too much into the hourly charts or anything because, once again, this is just a weekly technical breakdown, and I just want to get this out the way. As the week gets on and the market opens, I can look into the smaller time frames. As we can see, it's inevitable where the price is going to go. Anything can happen. We can have a gap up, we can have a gap down. There's bank holidays, there's manipulation, and I don't want to trade this while the weekend is underway. I'd like to just look at the daily chart and pop out to the weekly if possible, if necessary. You can see a little bit more clear. This is a little area of support. If we do break this area of support, we're going to go down even further because there's some buyers trapped there from 2021 that we could possibly revisit. And with this type of downtrend that we see right now, this has been a huge downtrend. You can see way up here, all the way back at September 2022, price has been crashing 1,000 pips. So this downtrend is going to possibly continue as long as we see this revisited and it continues to show bearish strength to the downside. I have no doubts. This is how you trade a range, and we are currently in a range. Worst case scenario, price pops up. I wouldn't be interested in buying it at this moment until 1.09339 is broken. Unfortunately, the opportunity to buy already left. It already got voided because that price did not continue on up, and we can see it retrace. It's a low probability trade trying to buy it from these lows at this point. You see how bearish that week was, and if you know price action, you don't want to buy falling knives, so be very careful. But if it does pop on back up here, some sort of event or whatever, we could possibly see it surge on up 500 plus pips back to the highs of the year. Now, that's about it for Audnzd. I'm going to follow up as the week begins. Audjpy, I want to take a look at this. JPY, there's no bank holiday until later on in the week, so we do have some possible movement once the market opens up. Actually, when we go back to our economic calendar, we can see that AUD nor JPY is experiencing a bank holiday during this day. So it is possible to swing trade and maybe even day trade this pair. I probably would look more into swing trading it because London session is the London banks, and in the European Union, I mean, like I said, it all ties in. So you don't see Europe or England or London bank holiday. You see parts of the European Union in a bank holiday. What that can also mean is that the euro could be weak at the beginning of the week, but it could still experience movement. Now, if it said euro, like I'll show y'all right now how I look at these economics. If it says EUR, that's the whole European Union being affected. But right here, it does not show EUR. It shows, this is technically the euro right here. This is France though. This is Italy. But once again, you go down here and this shows France, Italy, but it shows Europe. So the entire European currency is affected. On this one, it's not the entire European currency, or it could be, but at the same time, it's still tradable. That's just my point. Just be wary. It could be a still day, and if it is, take the day off and walk away from the screen. There's always another trading day. You don't want to sabotage your trading at the beginning of the week. There could be a lot of false moves. This run right here, Audjpy, but there's no AUD nor JPY, so it is possible to trade this throughout the beginning of the week. We can see it peaked up and it popped a little above 90.14 and 90.014, and this resistance was looked at the beginning of last week. I was bearish, and then price just did not want to go down any further. I actually took this pair down a significant amount at the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, and it was a great trade. It was a great sell. I got the short in. You could check back on all my previous videos if you didn't see it. I'm not gonna repeat myself. It's already one and done, and it's history now. I don't like to be euphoric over previous trades. It happened. It's in the books. I took my profit, got stopped out a couple little times, but overall, I collected majority profits. Where I got stopped out was at these lows. I got triggered into some sells, and of course, the price did not want to drive down anymore. We actually reached some support. If you look far to the left, we have April support, monthly support. Price did not want to go on further down, and so it's used that as a demand area for buying, and it was a very strong demand area because for one, price didn't even touch that low, and for two, it stopped me out, signaling a possible reversal or a possible range, and it deemed that it was a reversal, full on reversal. See, it took out all these sellers, even knocked out these seller stops. So this is a very bullish trade right now. The thing is, I would like to see price pull back, continue on up past 90.890 for a full on uptrend, or price could actually pull back, consolidate for a little bit, and then continue on up, or price could pull back and come back into the range, and that's it. I don't really think it's going to go southbound because this move right here erased that. As you can see, it was a fake out at the beginning of the month, and then it was a drop down. That was a fake out move, and then it kept on going, but it faked out to these lows now, and it went on up. So I call this a double fake out. It's a very powerful move, and if a market fakes out twice and it goes the other direction, it's probably going to be a very big breakout coming up. So that is going to be my projection for that. But I don't like looking at the hourly. I like looking at the daily chart on my weekly breakdowns just because the market is not open and it can gap. So looking at the daily chart, I would like to see this high get taken out, 90.824. If these highs can be taken out, then I do plan on taking price on up northbound, and I want to take out these sellers that have been sitting here for quite a while. They were sitting here in January and February, experiencing some sort of joy. Did take price on down, but as you can see, if you're looking at these lows right around here, 86.974, they failed to break those lows back in March, and they have not seen that price ever since. So if these sellers get shaken out, there's no more sellers in this trend. It's a resumption of the uptrend, and more than likely we're going to go take these guys out, and that's probably where I'll be taking my first set of profits, and that's going to be about 300 pips away from current price. If and only if price does continue on up, these sellers right here are going to be shaking up the market next. That's only probability. It's not guaranteed until we see how strong the buyers come in at the beginning of the week. But we could have a possible reversal to the higher end. And just for the beginning of May, I think that we could possibly see 95.740 as long as the buyers continue strong. But I'm taking it step by step because the probabilities are stronger if you take smaller, shorter term trades rather than the longer term trades. That's just how the markets work. The market has a very short memory span, and that's just it for the Audjpy. Let's go on to the Audusd. All right, I said that there are ISM manufacturing. There's also federal rate hikes is coming up. So be careful of the interest rate hikes. It's going to be coming up soon. I got an alert on my email that it's going to be coming. So be aware of that. That's a very, very major news announcement. I wouldn't even be in any trades during that time. I actually am fully in cash when these huge high impact news events happen because it can go in either way. And I trade price action, so I don't like to predict. So I'm going to be in cash before that happens. But until that happens, I want to continue showing y'all what's going to go down. Here's the AUD/USD. We can see that this currency pair is currently undergoing a downtrend. A very strong move on down happened in the past several days. We are at the lower end of a range, so there's no guarantees that it's going to continue breaking on down, but it's a lot stronger for bears right now. Since the bears are strong, I would like to continue this downtrend, but at the moment, we are in the middle of a range or a large range because some people might think it's a head and shoulders pattern, but for me, I already know that this is not a head and shoulders pattern. I don't really trade harmonics. I used to, but I like pure price action. It's king. It's a lot more successful for me, and that's why I don't really care about a head and shoulders or inverse or anything that people could say this was an inverse and what happened. It did not work out. So harmonics don't really fully work, and I don't really want to take those trades neither. So that's something that I want to take be cautious about at the beginning of the week. Now I want to move on to the smaller time frame so we can take a look. The hourly, I like to trade the hourly time frame at the beginning of the week once the market is undergoing. Once again, there is no live data feed right now, so I like to look at the 4 hour just to show just a little bit more of that kind of range that we're in. We're very bearish in the range, and it's going to take a lot for price to really go on up. Like I said, I need a gap up. I need to pass 0.66390 and show more strength, at least into 0.66980. So not just doesn't have to pop above these highs right here, but it needs to continue on up even further. So about 100 pip rally is what I'm expecting if I want to go long. And at that point, I'm going to look for an entry up. I wouldn't just buy it just right here because one, you have to have a super wide stop loss, and the odds are against you because you're trading something that is not any of my patterns I trade. So right now we are bearish, and these buyers might be shaken out, and if so, that's when I'll be looking for some more sells. So no selling from me until at least 0.65365 is tapped. If that area is visited, then I may consider looking into some shorts. But if it's not even visited, then it's telling me that the sellers are not strong enough. Once again, we're gonna have to wait until the beginning of the week to follow up with that. AUDCHF, scrolling through this now. This pair was actually, we'll take a look at the daily chart, very bearish. I shorted it last week, and I had the analysis breakdown on my last weekly technical. I had a weekly technical breakdown, a midweek and end of the week technical breakdown. So I follow up with y'all. I do this all the time because I do trade and I can read price, and it's just another language. It's like an open book for me. So I just look for opportunity and I execute. And right now, there's absolutely no reason to buy this pair. Do not buy this. I would not buy this. You can. But I'm going to be on the other side getting ready for a short. It literally hit my profit target from the beginning of the week. I projected this entire target and it hit it to the T. You see, I did not move these lines. And I did say that we're going to experience some congestion right here. But more than likely, we should be continuing on down for at least another 350 pips. And I still have this line marked up here, 0.55798. You don't believe me? Go back to the beginning of the week, last week's technical breakdowns. Everything is said. It's dated. It's right there on the timestamp. I do what I do, and I back up what I talk about. So those of you that are still doubtful, you're delusional. You should definitely go see a doctor. But those of you that believe, that have been following up with me, I appreciate you. You see that every day I do this, and you know, the stats don't lie, the numbers don't lie. This is the new FTMO account. I took these trades right in front of everyone. My trailing stops got hit, and I closed out before the end of the week, but most of my trades were in profit. I did a little bit of scalping on the Euro USD, and I broke even for that day because there was just a couple little patterns that I was not too familiar with. You see that there's the winning trades right there, there's losing trades right there, and then I ran out of time. I trade for about an hour and a half during my scalping sessions. So that's that. But it's very obvious what I did wrong, and that's, you know, scalping is a lot more difficult than swing trading. So, you know, I love scalping, I love day trading, I love short-term trading. That's the bread and butter right now. But at the moment, I do have to refine some of my in and outs. I have 2 pip stop losses. So, you know, if you got 2-3 pip stop losses, you know, it can be difficult in certain areas. But end of the week happened. Long story short, I'm gonna have to catch back up with that at the beginning of the week and bring that up for my scalping. All right, I want to go back into this though. The AUDCHF, I do expect price to continue on down. I don't know just exactly how far down this will go, but I am willing to continue taking this trade on down even further. And I'm just gonna look for 0.58434. So last week's lows will be broken and taken out. Then I may consider shorting it further. If we look at this time frame, there's no reason to buy, like I said. You know, obviously, I'm gonna put an if-then scenario because I'm not just sticking to one bias. I'm very neutral. But hey, if the power's in one end, I'm gonna put my money on that side. And right now, my money is going into the bears, unless the buyers could take price on up. Now it's gonna have to take price on up at least 70 pips to 0.59980. Get into that order range right there that we see that, you know, that was a previous support. Price never really revisited it since then. We haven't experienced a pullback, so I'm not too sure exactly what's going to happen. But, you know, I'm also gonna consider buying if price does go on that high. Right now, we don't really see that. Going into the hourly chart, I don't really like doing this on Sundays, but we could see that price kind of stalled out. There was some selling, and then it kind of dried up. People were closing out for the weekend, like myself, and price just naturally went up. But the sellers have been dominant the entire week. We can see from the 20th all the way to the 28th that sellers been dominant. And towards the end of the week, there was some big holidays, and price definitely dried up. It was the end of the month, so there's a lot of banks and everything paying out their earnings to the employees, and people going on breaks and stuff at the end of the month. So things happen naturally in the markets. Can't control every move. It doesn't move linear, but we are in an overall downtrend. I'll just highlight that for y'all right now so you can actually see the most recent swing highs. We can see price did peak on up right around the 26th of April, and then it dropped. And then we have a little range right now, but that range is looking weak. So we're just going to have to wait and see. It could go on up, but at this point, I'm still not going to buy it. I'll consider buying, but more than likely, I'll still look for some sells if the buyers are not strong. They need to be strong. So if they continue this little pushing up activity, I'm not going to consider buys. I'm going to actually look for sells at the highs and try to take it to the lower end and revisit last week's lows. That's it for AUD CHF, Euro AUD. I was very bullish this pair. This is the 5-minute chart, but you're looking at the hourly, it's a different narrative. And then you're looking at the daily, we see that it's been extremely bullish. It hit my profit target exactly to the T. And like I said, go back to my previous video. I was right once again. It's no ego. It's just, was I wrong? Was I right? You could either be right or wrong, right? It's a 50-50. So if my analysis is on point, I'm right. If it's off, I'm not right. Now, I did say that I was going to utilize the trailing stops along the way if it does start to pull back aggressively against me. I'm still overall bullish, like this pair on the weekly. I definitely still have that weekly target. It's way up here. It doesn't look like it's going down anytime soon. Actually, we are kind of stuck. We're under the 1.68227 highs. So if we can break these highs and show more strength on up, then I will consider this long-term uptrend continuing. But that high is actually about 200 pips away, and this market moves about 300 pips per week on the ATR. You can see here, right, the weekly ATR. So I do expect this price to continue on surging up. It doesn't look like it's coming down anytime soon. We just took out some major highs. We had December highs, we had February highs, we had last August highs, and we just tapped into 2020 highs. So this is all happening all in front of you on the weekly. So this is a major sign that if buyers continue the pressure, there's no sellers around at all. And a Euro AUD might experience a nice uptrend. AUD, it could shoot it back down. Like I said, I'm neutral, so anything could happen. And for me to really consider taking some sells at this point, I need to see price break 1.6200. If it could break these lows, then maybe we can consider going down again. But that's 462 pips away. I'm looking at the daily chart. We can see right here. That's basically going to wipe out last week's uptrend, and it's going to possibly go back into the older range, shake these guys out. But like I said, I need a huge move because it's backed up by a lot of supporters down here. I'm going to take this right here. We can see a lot of demand, a major demand area right here, and it has not seen that for a while. So that's what we're going to do and on that time frame. So moving on to the Gbpjpy, which is the next one. Very bullish. I actually called the reversal midweek. I was not in this trade at the beginning of the week because I was bearish 2 weeks ago, and price actually, look at this. Wow, GJ going on up. That is amazing to see. At the beginning of the week, I was neutral because I said that we need to see these highs taken out. And I actually saw an opportunity right around the end of the week. I got into this trade and I took it on up. 400 pips, it went up. I got a big chunk of that. You can see right here at GJ, I got in at 169.573, and that was my most recent GJ trade. So 169 was right here. Right here, see, I followed through with everything I say. I got in and got a big chunk of that, got almost a couple hundred pips out of there, and you see it right there. I actually was riding that up. I got another one, 168.269, so I got in even earlier too. 168.2 was right around here, and this was just a continuation. That's 300 pips. And before this FTMO account retake, I actually was on my older account. I could log into that, but it's currently not active anymore. But let me see, FTMO challenge. This is the 52K, and then this is the no, that's not it. Where's it at? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, first server. Here's the other one. So I'll log in. Yeah, you guys can't see my password anyways, but this one is no longer. Fortunately, it's no longer available because I had a retake, but they gave me a complimentary retake because of my performance, and I'm gonna just pass this next week. But you can see my trades. I want to get to the symbol GJ, and you can see all the GJs, and the most recent one was on that's the 19th. That's a 26. Where's the most recent GJ? The 25th. That's UCAD. Okay, so yeah, GJ. Yeah, these are the most recent one. The 26th right here. That's Euraud. So I did get into some GJs, but you can see this was the end of that account, and I think my most recent buy was the 25th right there. So unfortunately, I had to close out this account, so I didn't really get much of it. But you see that I had a buy stop at 168.08. So looking at this right here, 168.08 was right here. So I would have got everything. But like I said, that account is closed, it's over. So I have to have this one right here. But this one I'm doing a lot better on. So this is my other FTMO account. And yeah, I'm currently up. You guys see I started with 50K, and currently up 23.90, and that all happened in under 24 hours. So that's that. I do expect GJ to take out these highs if it continues bullish pressure. This is just nasty. Like, you need a crazy amount of selling pressure to really bring price down. And so I expect this to continue going north. I expect it to take out these yearly highs. I expect it to go on up northbound. And if it does, oh my goodness, y'all see this? At least I expect price to go on up 800 to 900 pips, at least. So this, like I said, there's interest rate hikes. There's a lot of things happening. It's May, and I'm excited for this because this is an opportunity to make money. And y'all can see everything is broken down thoroughly. I like to make it fine-tune the details so y'all can see. Every time frame is readable. Those of you that's following me, y'all, you understand I read price. Like, it's not magic. It's just an ability and skill you develop over time. Hard work, it pays off, and that's what I've been doing, was working hard. So you can see hourly chart, there's no sellers in sight. So this is a pair I'm going to be very, very interested in. There's going to be a bank holiday on the GBP at the beginning of the week, so we can see the Great Britain, United Kingdom on Monday. So be careful. It probably is going to experience a little bit of a pullback, but it's an opportunity to look to get into the next entry, the next major swing up. So unless some black swan event happens and price goes on down, and I don't really see a black swan event happening at all. We can look federal tax revenue, that's Brazil, but there's no major high impact news at all yet. Interest rate decision on AUD, that's big. Be careful. You understand? So AUD interest rates is coming. That's why AUD's been kind of weak. But that's it. The other interest rates are not here yet. So anything with AUD, JPY, AUD, USD, all those pairs, because it's an interest rate hike, it will affect all the currencies across the board. So be careful. Like I said, that's going to happen on, where is that going to happen? So I'm going to follow up again, AUD. That's going to happen on Tuesday. So be careful. On Tuesday, that's the day after the bank holiday. So it's going to be a huge movement on Tuesday. Be ready. That's going to be happening on Tuesday morning for me. So it's going to be pretty much happening on Monday night for y'all on the west side of the world. And rest of the week should be crazy monster trends. But be ready, because that's going to be the news of the week right there, the interest rates. So be careful if you're trading or holding trades before then. You're going to have an opportunity to trail your stops. You're going to have opportunity to be in and out of short-term trades, but do not hold anything through the interest rates, because of UCAD. So on UCAD, I want to just break this one down. And this is the last one. It was very bullish, actually. Um, Beginning of the week, and then it kind of went into a flat line. Didn't really go anywhere after that, so we can actually see that happening. You can see it right in front of you. Price broke on up some highs, faked out, came back down, knocked out a bunch of buyers. Now we're visiting last week's lows, and it did not break those lows, so that's a red flag. I want to mark all these areas up so you can just see it visually clear. This is the hourly chart, so I'm going to go out to the 4-hour and daily since it's Sunday. On Sunday, okay, so there we go. So on the daily chart, we have the breakout, the pop-up. I did project that. Check the previous video. I like to read price action. It's a hobby. It's a skill of mine, and if you like to do something, you're going to keep doing it. And right now, we're experiencing just a couple of days worth of pulling back, but we can see that the UCAD is still very strong for buying right now. We have just a potential drive back down into the older range, and it did drop about 150 pips, but that's just a couple of days worth of movement. It can erase that in one major news. AUD interest rate hikes. I'm not too familiar with currency correlation. It's not something I was studying like major, but I do know that certain pairs correlate with other pairs. So like Australian economy, I guess if that one's going down, there's another economy going up, then like the US dollar and gold, so there's definitely that happening. So we'll see what happens with AUD. It could affect UCAD, and that is something that we could see happen in a matter of a day. It could just really shoot up, knock out all these guys right here, and continue on up. This is a major uptrend if we can get above 1.37032. If we can get above that, that would be a fake out to the downside, and we could possibly see price surge on up and take out these buyers right here, and I would actually be trying to take profit at the higher end of this range. So expect probably a 300 to 400 pip move next week on UCAD if we are going up. We are currently in a range though, and price has been going on to the downside of that range, but that downtrend is over. Just for y'all to understand, I want to highlight that right now so you can see in more clarity. That downtrend is actually over. See, swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, but we just had another shift on up. It's changed the sentiment of the market. So for this downtrend to resume, I actually need to see these lows of 1.33050 broken. It was a very bullish week, so UCAD actually was saved, and the US dollar regained strength. There hasn't really been too much news about the war as of lately. It kind of like died down, so I'm sure that it's going to pick up as we have more movement into the markets. But as of right now, the U.S. been kind of quiet, and probably stop giving money to the Ukraine for the weapons and stuff. And either way, like Ukraine owes the U.S. now, and that's strong for the U.S. dollar. So just because it's a war, it's not a U.S. war, it's a Ukraine war, and that's why we don't see the Ukraine currency on this. I'm not trading it, but it's probably going to shit. That's another topic, but the U.S. is just a crazy country. I lived there for over 25 years. If you go back on my previous video before this, you can actually see I have a monthly index breaking down the U.S. dollar and the future of it. So long term, I actually can show you all right now. Long term, the U.S. dollar is right here. Long term, this is the monthly chart of the US dollar. Long term, it can be bullish, shoot on up, but we are also in a range, and we are at the highs of a range that did not get broken. So long term, we can experience a pullback. This could be a fake out, and if this is a fake out, meaning that it could take a couple months to really make its way. If this is a real fake out, this is a long-term bear trend, and we are in the range of that bear trend, and we have not taken out those highs. So long-term, we could actually fake out to these highs, shake out these buyers. These buyers are in trouble. Then what? Well, y'all can see we're going to visit all-time lows, and that's not good because that could be recessions and a lot of bad news. That's later on. That's future news. I do have a video on that about the indexes. Follow up on that, check it out. It's an hour long, so watch little parts of it. But that's that. Be careful if you're holding on long term to US dollar. But as of right now, it's neutral. You can be bullish or bearish. So as of right now, US dollar is still technically bullish and bearish. So Usdcad could go up and we could see these highs taken out, or it can stall out at these highs and then go on down. So on this chart, it's kind of hard to really explain. It's kind of at a demand area and it just got shot down from a supply area. So we are in a range. Just want to highlight that we are in a 200 pip range. So it's not really that large, but you know, once again, interest rates for AUD could affect everything, and we'll just have to wait until Tuesday. But this right here to me is nothing serious because it failed to break these lows, and there are some buyers sitting here, and it should have took them out in one move. It did not. So we can experience a little fake out to lows and a break back up higher, and we could revisit these highs, and we could then follow up with that at the end of the week. But that's a possibility. We could also have a push on down and strengthen up, and we could see price continue and take out these lows, but that's highly unlikely seeing that we had such a strong bull trend. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what's going on. As of right now, I'm more bullish than bearish this, but I'm neutral. I'm just going to have to wait for this range to be broken, and then I'll be able to make my decision more clearly. Right now, we're just in the middle of congestion, and that's that. So, kind of see what's going on. Like like a lot of bears just popping in last minute, and just I think this is a fake out. So we may end up starting to surge back in if we can break 1.36025 around this area and come back north. Then I might consider going long again. Just gonna have to see. And that's about it, y'all. That's my breakdown for all my pairs on my watch list as of right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs I just broke down in under an hour. And I hope y'all got some informal education on this. Once again, just be very wary, very careful. Trading next week, beginning of the week at least, we have interest rate hikes. And you know, after that, it should be clear. But before that, it could be a little choppy, a little gritty. So stay out of the markets if you can until those announcements. It's just Monday night for y'all, Tuesday morning for me. But I'm going on a vacation on Wednesday and be gone for like a week or so. Just clear my head. But before I go there, I need to pass this challenge. As y'all can see, I reached 50% of my target in one day. So I don't have any doubts about that. All I got to do is keep trading right, do what I've been doing, and should expect more, you know, just to pass this in the next, you know, beginning of next week. And that would be great getting into my little vacation. So follow up with y'all on the FTMO challenge as I, you know, get into the week. I still scalp. You know, it's just fairly easy for me to scalp, but it can be a little tricky at times, especially yesterday, especially on Friday. Like I said, I had a break even day on the Euro US dollar. It just wasn't really going my direction. I can't really find the exact moment I was trading this off this. This is, you know, the different time zone, but yeah, I got a couple really good trades, good runners, and then I had a couple losing trades, and that kind of affected my P&L. So nothing bad. I scalp every day, so it's not too difficult for me. It's just and it actually gets me better for price action reading, because you can see that the minute chart is kind of hectic if you don't know how to read price. And you know, a lot of this could be like dead zones. I have certain times I trade and certain patterns and setups I look for. So that's about it. Y'all see what it is. That's it for today, and follow up with y'all at the end, middle of the week. Peace.